Custom Bus is an Australian manufacturer of bus bodies, and the business has got a history of about 60 years. We knew that we had a business that had a fairly broken culture. The morale was low, the processes weren't functioning, safety and quality were not a high priority in the organisation, and people were very focused on building buses without any sort of planned process. We had a lot of work to do to turn the business around. So the first thing that we had to do was get everybody on the same page. We went out to not only our employees but all the stakeholders in the business, and that's where we really engaged the team. We asked them what was important and what they wanted to see Custom Bus be, or what they needed from the business. It was quality, it was safety, it was teamwork, and it was pride.
Custom Bus was an organisation where their costs were spiralling out of control. Greg was a newly appointed CEO who came to see us directly. He knew to engage his staff, build a culture of safety, and join with icare, and they could get back to a sustainable, efficient business. He said to his employees, first and foremost, where do you feel the least safe? They said at heights. We don't have railings, we're at the top of our buses and we're doing work. They put some railings on that scaffolding and the falls from heights have ceased. He said, well, where else do you feel least safe? And they said, look, our tools aren't the best tools. Electrical cords are frayed. He went out and he replaced those tools. Simple things have made an enormous difference. Their costs are under control, their productivity is higher. Most importantly, the quality of their work is higher.
In my role, I oversee all aspects of the vehicle body build. Biggest safety feature I've seen is the evolution of the new induction system. With the help of the new management team, we've implemented a new induction process where we fully assess the operators before we take them on. We assess their competency, make sure they're fit and able to work here and meet our safety values and all the expectations of the business.
My job involves welding, cutting and grinding. Before we had this jig, we were struggling on the workstation because some hydraulic cable, electrician cable, they got damaged. Operator, they were close to each other and got flashed from the welding lights. Now, since we can turn it in my area, we have a better quality of welding. It makes the welding much safer.
When we first started here at Custom, there was no cutting table. We were kicking our rolls of vinyl out on the floor, which created problems of guys walking past and kicking stuff into our glue. Since we've had the cutting table, we're now up off the floor. We've got a clean environment and there's less stress on our bodies.
Since being here at Custom, we've implemented programs around visual controls. So we try and share safety information regularly. We've got a Take 5 process where people are encouraged to stop and take 5 seconds for safety before starting a job. They're open to telling us about incidents instead of sweeping them under the carpet. And the company's also gone a long way into putting in better processes for actually looking after the people in the unfortunate event that they do get injured. So return to work processes have improved, find suitable duties for them because it's been proven that that's best in industry to get people back at work and back into where they do their jobs to recover.
It's my great pleasure, Greg, to give you this award from icare for the safety that you've instilled into your business. The first time I'd ever heard people put safety and their staff first to get both efficiency and safety to happen with no injuries within their workplace. Congratulations. Thanks, Greg. Thank you.